Okay, this is one of the last videos I'll be doing in this series. We're going to be looking at planets. Now there are three types of planets actually on the board. There's minor ones, these little green dots, and then there's a major planet, which are the big green ones, and then you've got your home planets, which are marked by the symbol of the actual empire. Now, each planet in the game has a basic planetary defense unit, which is a defense battalion, which is got combat factors of 3 with 6 fighters. Now, that battalion is the basics of all other units. You can build them up even further. You can into regiments, groups and brigades, but they're just combinations of battalions. So if you want to take a loss, you take a battalion loss. All planets have a planetary defense unit at the start of the game, and it depends how many there are. It depends on the size of the planet. So a minor planet would have a defense regiment consisting of 2 battalions. Major planets have a defense brigade of 4 battalions, and capital planets begin with 2 defense brigades, which is 8 battalions. Okay, planetary defences are treated specially for combat purposes. They have no crippled side. As I've said, regiments, brigades and groups are really just accumulations of battalions. If given up to resolve normal damage, each battalion is worth 9 points, 3 for itself plus 6 for its fighters. If you're using patrol fighters, you can add another 3 points for patrol fighters in it. I'm not getting into patrol fighters at this stage. They're really quite an advanced concept. An attacker can use direct damage on up to 4 battalions in a single combat round. Right, if destroyed by direct damage, the attacker must spend 5 points per battalion, but require 10 points unless a mauler is used. Interesting. So you're going to have to do some recording if you've got any sort of planetary defences in excess of the default amount, or where the default amount is being reduced. You need to keep a record of that. See, that's not true. Planetary defences can only be built or added, upgraded or increased. They cannot be decreased or transferred to another planet or removed voluntarily. Okay. You can use planetary defence units to garrison a captured planet. Even if a planet's defences have been destroyed, and it's left in or returned to the control of the original owner, it still has a residual defence factor of 3 defence factors with no fighters. The residual factor is destroyed automatically. The planet is devastated and returns automatically when the planet returns to or remains in friendly ownership. Planetary defense units can be attacked and planets can be devastated and captured. You can't destroy planets. Devastation occurs if a planetary defense units and all its fighters and PFs etc and not including the 3-point residual defense factor, are destroyed, and an additional 10 points of damage are scored on the planet. When the planet is devastated, its residual defense factor is destroyed, its economic production is reduced minus to 1 point, majors to 2 point, for a period of 2 years or 4 years for minor and major respectively. 10 points can be scored as direct damage if you want to. If a devastated and captured planet is liberated, its residual 3-point defense factor will appear, and the planet will begin a 4-turn recovery period. Once that 4-turn recovery is gone, the planet returns to its normal state. If planet's defences are destroyed and the planet is devastated and all other defending units are eliminated from the hex, the planet has been captured. On the second subsequent turn of continuous possession, the capturing player receives the production at the devastated rate, assuming the planet is linked to his supply grid. Garrison. A captured planet hex must be continuously garrisoned by ships or PDUs of the conquering fleet. 1 ship or PDU per planet. If the garrison is ever completely removed at the end of any phase, the planet reverts to its original owners. If the planet is recaptured by the original owning player or an allied player, the 3-point residual defense factor is immediately re-established. In terms of recovery, the 4 turns required for recovery do not begin until the planet is recaptured. Note that planet cannot be captured without first being devastated, and that a planet which has been captured cannot begin the process of recovery from devastation until it's liberated. Recovery takes 4 complete game turns. Okay, planetary defence units we've already discussed are known as defence battalions. They can be constructed at a shipyard. Now that implies it's an imperial shipyard. That's not very clear, that. They're produced for 4 economic points. Plus 3 points for fighters. They have a combat value of 3 and 6 fighter factors, and no reverse cripple side. They can be used to reinforce or partially restore the defences of a given planet. Right, the cost of defence battalions built on another planet for the cost. Just leave that for a second. If deployed outside, so it is talking about constructed in the capital hex. If deployed outside the capital hex, the defence battalion must be moved operationally or strategically by a tug or other unit using mission K1, which I'm not sure what that is, compromising its entire cargo. It is then set up as a mobile base The tug must remain in that hex until the start of the next operational movement phase. Defence battalions can only be deployed on planets. As was stated before, enemy needs to destroy PDUs to capture the planet. Defence battalions built at the capital shipyard may be stored in an undeployed form in the same way that mobile bases are stored. Phew, that is really complicated.